representing America.
Literally,
Florida man coming through.
Listen, America is up big right now, okay?
Fuck you, Charles Barkley. Fuck your tariffs. Eat my dick, Canada.
This is a politics hockey podcast tonight. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for retarded shit?
Deport the Oilers.
Yes, deport the Oilers.
I am retarded, so.
In fact, after fucking tonight, they're going back to Canada and they staying there.
Edmonton's the 51st state. That's it. You're losing all your rights.
It's Ma? It's Panthers Ma?
Actually,
Crack a cold one. Something these fucking Canadians don't know.
You know what? Fucking you right. Hold up. Excuse me. We can't start this podcast yet. Wait 1 second. Hold the fuck up.
Oh.
Yo, hola, Panthers. What are you up to?
Esto va a estar 9-0. 9-0 tonight.
Let me break out the
Right.
Presidente. Alright. I feel like this is the appropriate beer for today's conversations.
Where's still a break? Oh, shit.
Alright. So, have you guys participated in any rioting this week?
No. I participated in Cuba in the marches.
Alright,
But
in this country.
that was mandatory. I'm fucking with you, man.
No riots for fucking. If we win the cup, are we rioting? Can
It
we
might be
do
live.
that? Are we allowed?
What are we doing?
We're
No,
allowed.
because we're not liberals. We're not allowed to riot without getting consequences.
God bless Florida.
Damn it. That's true. As a matter of fact, that is actually true.
You know, you saw the thing about DeSantis today? He said, you know what? If you're threatened, run him over.
If you what? Come on. What?
See, tú estás
Yeah,
en
so
peligro.
if they decide to protest and block the streets and everything, it's no longer just a protest. You are disorderly conduct.
Wait.
Florida put a law in place where if you fear for your life, like they start attacking your vehicle or something, you can run through protesters.
Let me tell it to him in Cuba.
That makes all the sense in the world.
Mira, chico, si los anormales estos se despingan y se ponen en la carretera, tú coges el carro, lo pones ahí en drive y le echas un manotazo y matas ahí todo el mundo que tú quieras, que no te va a pasar nada. Asesínalo para el carajo con los comunistas que son.
Yes, this is perfect. So we have the English audience and the Spanish audience.
That's
Hold
right.
on. Hold on.
Bilingual.
I also have, just in case any of my, southern white people, rednecks, did
That's
not
cool.
Understand the vernacular just now. Do not worry. I've got you guys covered. Here is your sheriff in Brevard
Down for you, all right?
County.
And if somebody wants to know what I mean by turn violent, all right, this is what I mean. If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be
Straight
very
to jail,
clear
right
about
away.
that. If you block an intersection or a roadway
Believe it or
in
not.
Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired because we're going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, wandering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit on us, you're going to the hospital and jail. And most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at. We will kill you graveyard dead. We're not
Oh
going
my
to play.
goodness.
This has got to
We
stop.
will kill you,
You're watching what's
graveyard
taking
dead,
place
dude.
out there. You're seeing police
Where do you
officers
come up with
that are
that
being
poetic
attacked,
shit?
being spit on, being put in harm's way just for doing their jobs. You're seeing ICE.
He said, "We will kill you, graveyard dead, bro." Like
Oh,
he said that on a podium. You know, these sheriffs never fuck around. The
Look.
northern Florida sheriffs never fuck around. These are the same guys
Oh yeah.
that told people that they shot a guy 19 times simply because they didn't have enough a 20th bullet to put in the guy. Like, I love
You also have to remember, as much as we criticize police and everything, because we're only really shown so much of the actual bad ones. There are plenty of good ones out there that literally put their life on the line, that have lost their lives and everything. So it's only right that they protect themselves. Like, there's two sides of the coin for the situation that people have with the police, but they have to understand both sides to really get it.
Did you see? Hold on, let me see if I can find this Space Cadet. Before we get into some serious, there's some memes that have circulated, alright?
Uh-oh.
Hold on. My favorite one is... let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, here it is. Hold on, let me pull it up. This one's my favorite one. I think I have an appreciation for shit like this, because, I mean... who doesn't enjoy
Oh yeah, that was great.
Who does not enjoy a good form tackle, bro? Like, come on.
Are you serious right now?
That is great. That is text fucking book. Dan Smith.
The NFL needs to sign this man here.
Dan Smith, middle linebacker, UCLA. Pick him up. Pick him up, dude. Are you kidding me? That was
a clean one too.
Bam! Look at that. Form, wrap up, head tucked in the chest, feet out the air. Bam! Like,
that looks
come
like a fucking movie, bro.
That was beautiful. That amazing. You get some really nice fucking clips in the in shit like riots. We also got, hold on.
They've had a lot of fucking around, but now it's time for them all to find out.
We also got...
that dude pulled out, you know?
We also got a new soy jack.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
No.
These riots have been doing the most.
God's work on this riot.
He went out there and did absolutely nothing for like 2 days.
Right. Not only did he try and call out Asmongold, which backfired on him greatly, because Asmon was just like, I'm going to go out there with ice, he made himself into a new soy jack.
When he said, yeah, I'll be there arresting you on the fucking bridge. I died, dude. I was like, holy shit. The clap back. I don't know if Hassan needs to know this or not, but he's not a good protester. He's actually pretty terrible at it. He did no protesting.
Well, I can't tell him anymore because he blocked me on X.
Yeah, that was coming, bud. That was coming, bud. Anyway.
I mean, I thought it would have came from something at least a little more worthwhile, and after everything I've called him or said to him.
Hey. Alright, so I guess we'll have some disposition. Listen, we all know what's going on, but for the 78 that are watching, I like to be thorough. And this week is kind of a short news week, so I'm going to warn the viewer now. This is just going to be a lot of Panthers hockey and rioting. The news week has been nothing else. Oh, we had a plane crash too. We'll cover that in a second. But all right, I'm going to do the whole. We'll do this topic first, and then we'll do the conversation that comes with this topic.
With that escalating tension in Los Angeles, after protesters against federal immigration raids clashed with law enforcement over the weekend, setting vehicles on fire, California National Guard troops were moved in at the order of President Trump. This is the first time since 1965 that a president has ordered troops in over the objections of the governor. He did it on his own authority. California Governor Newsom condemned the action as inflammatory, called on the administration to rescind it, said they were manufacturing a crisis.
And our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, is standing by with the latest on the administration's response to the protests. But first, our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, is on the scene in L.A. And Matt, you and your team, you were with the protesters all day yesterday. Good morning.
Like, I've never seen a city.
We saw so much of that unfold, Michael, and this is what the civic area in downtown Los Angeles looks like. These are the skeletons of Waymo self-driving electric vehicles. You can see there's a series of about 5 of them here just beyond. That's what the rest of this downtown area in LA looks like. A maze of police checkpoints. Just over my right shoulder, that's the 101 freeway. It was blocked on both sides by hundreds of protesters, and those clashes just ending a short time ago early this morning. Overnight chaos erupting in the streets of Los Angeles as protesters and police clashed. Tensions escalating Sunday as thousands of protesters took to the streets in response to President Donald Trump's extraordinary deployment of the California National Guard. Governor Gavin Newsom saying it was assistance he didn't ask for.
We are here to support local law enforcement, the Sheriff's Office, LAPD, but they didn't need that support. He made this up. This is a manufactured crisis.
Multiple vehicles set on fire, covered in graffiti condemning ICE. An electric scooter thrown from an overpass, damaging a highway patrol vehicle, which was then set on fire. Many hundreds sitting on the 101 freeway, blocking traffic.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but it sounds like even ABC is trying to frame it as if all the burning and everything was escalation to the National Guard being deployed.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be the narrative. That's gonna be the narrative. All
course.
up and down that you're gonna hear in these next clips. That's gonna be the narrative.
Well, there's a clear timeline of what happened exactly that you can look up.
We're gonna get into that.
This is ridiculous, but okay. Yep.
We're definitely getting into all of that in the conversation that comes through.
CHP, California Highway Patrol deployed smoke. They're moving in, trying to push these protesters out. You can see some projectiles containing someone there. The LAPD mobilizing resources and LA's mayor pleading for calm.
Our city does not need to be torn apart.
Earlier Sunday, demonstrators swarming LA's federal building, hundreds of LAPD officers responding. And in the ensuing clashes, the LAPD says multiple officers were injured when 2 people on motorcycles tried to crash through that police line. We were right there as it happened. Just moments ago, there's some projectiles being thrown. Just moments ago, a motorcycle seemed to try to break through the police skirmish line. And now you can hear all those flashbangs going off. Police are trying to push those protesters back, firing those less than lethals at very close range. And you can see those projectiles being thrown over. Now that motorcycle is being hauled in here. Looks like he's being arrested. Police deployed flashbangs. The streets littered with debris and broken glass. At this point, more than 25 demonstrators arrested after failing to disperse. The escalation began Friday when federal immigration authorities began a series of sweeps in greater Los Angeles, arresting more than 100 people. The demonstration's now entering day 4. Hundreds of National Guard troops were deployed on the streets of LA over the weekend. President Trump bypassing California's governor, ordering up to 2,000 guardsmen to deploy across Southern California. On Saturday in Paramount, just south of Los Angeles, thick black smoke filling the sky after cars were set on fire. The anger coming after reports of an immigration raid on the community. The Paramount mayor, Peggy Lemon, saying there was not a raid. The agents were there staging. And in a rare scene Saturday afternoon, a Black Hawk helicopter landing in the parking lot of a Homeland Security office, agents unloading supplies for federal law enforcement. California Governor Gavin Newsom calling on the Trump administration to revoke the order to deploy the California National Guard, saying it only makes matters worse. A memo signed by all the Democratic governors says the activation of guardsmen in their own borders without consulting or working with the state's governor is ineffective and dangerous. But President Trump now saying even active duty Marines could be deployed as 500 remain on standby.
What's the bar for sending Marines?
The bar is what I think it is. I mean, if we see danger to our country and to our citizens, we'll be very, very strong in terms of law and order.
So how rare is it for a president to bypass a governor and deploy National Guards in that governor's state? Well, it hasn't been invoked since 1965. That's over 60 years. And Newsom saying that he did speak to President Trump on Friday night. The president did not mention, according to Newsom, that he was going to deploy the California National Guard. And now Gavin Newsom calling President Trump a stone-cold liar and saying that this morning he's going to file a lawsuit against the Trump administration for acts that he called immoral and unconstitutional, George.
And Madam President Johnson in 1965, when he did that, was actually moving in National Guard troops to protect civil rights protesters.
So let's talk about that narrative real quick. Do you want to go over the timeline before we begin?
Slender, give us context.
I mean, I guess it's not like it's difficult. They began escalating and throwing things at law enforcement, burning cars, which is why the National Guard got deployed.
Okay.
And they even have there's even footage. They're still trying to find who exactly the guy is, but there's footage of of people or a person. I only saw one person of it, but I've heard that there's people doing it that are literally giving out thousands of dollars of face masks and other materials.
Bobby's a goat.
So the narrative.
Oh, but it all first started where they had warranted raids. People heard that it wasn't warranted, and they claimed it to be illegal. So they started protesting. Some of them started escalating in the streets, of course. And LAPD doesn't do that much, even when there's escalation, and we've seen that. They start burning vehicles and rioting, looting, and so the National Guard gets called in. And then they try to make the claim that it's because of the National Guard that all of the rioting, looting, and burning cars began.
Right.
Okay, because I was going to address that.
Oh, there is another thing. I don't know if you heard about this, but there's also apparently... Well, there's two things. There's a person who made a TikTok video that came out saying that he had received an offer for $200 a day to go out and protest. And there's also apparently a few ads in Craigslist in the LA area looking for building a crew of strong and fearless men. And it's not very specific. It's very vague.
Isn't that what they did with BLM protest?
They did have something similar during... I was going to say they did have something similar during BLM.
Right? Wow.
Craigslist always has wild shit, though, to be fair, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, because, like, the narrative over on their side of the ball is that this all didn't start until they started performing ICE raids where they were performing them. And I feel like that's kind of a misrepresentation of the events, because that I almost want to say that's in a technicality true, that did technically spark the raids, but I feel like this is more of a what do you call it, an allowance. We're allowing this to happen for theatrics.
In Cuba, they call that shock groups. I don't know how to say it in English, but grupos de choque, shock groups. They do that to.
The reason I say that it feels like it's an allowance is I've been going around on X, and there's in other cities where ICE is performing raids, riots do try to start. Big protests do try to start, but the PDs in those cities, they're stamping them out right at the fucking beginning. Like, we're not seeing this in the rest of the country.
Exactly, because LA is allowing it.
I think LA ain't trying, which is why the administration is sending in the Guard and the Marines and whoever the fuck else. Which, by the way, he's getting challenged about that in court. Do we know if that came back with a verdict yet?
I haven't heard anything on it yet.
Because all I saw was that it was being challenged in court, but
I haven't even heard of anything being filed specifically yet.
Yeah, it's being hold on, let me see if I can find it. Bro, I got tons of links. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. I found it. Alright, hold on, let me share it. Hey, this is happening a little bit today.
Reportedly happening in Los Angeles today, despite leaders there calling for those raids to stop. And the state of California is going to federal court in an attempt to block military deployments to LA. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has the latest.
Immigration and Customs agents conducting an apparent raid at a warehouse in Compton, California today. And earlier in the day, officers were seen conducting another apparent raid at homes in East Los Angeles. Members of the California National Guard seen creating a wall to block off the area.
We're going to be out there every day conducting our law enforcement mission.
While the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem was speaking at a press conference in Los Angeles,
The fact of the matter is,
Senator Alex Padilla tried to interrupt and was quickly grabbed by officers and forcibly removed from the room. It appeared he was trying to bring up the arrests of people in raids who have no criminal records.
That wasn't appropriate. That if you wanted to have a civil discussion, especially as a leader, a public official, that you would reach out and try to have a conversation.
if this is how the Department of Homeland Security responds to a senator with a question, you can only imagine what they're doing to farm workers, to cooks, to day laborers.
The presence of the troops in California
Is there
is
a
part of a
better
federal
clip
hearing
of
today. California
how
Governor
he
Gavin
tried
Newsom
to
filed a
enter
motion
and
against the Trump
ask this
administration
question?
for deploying 4,000 National Guard troops and 700 Marines to LA.
We argue that the president is engaged in an unlawful power grab, that he's trying to exercise authority that he doesn't have.
The president saying today he had no choice but to bring in the Guard, saying he warned Governor Newsom to take action.
And I told him, I said, you have to get your ass in gear because you're going to have a problem there. And he would have, if we didn't bring the military in.
It's funny because Newsom's been warned many times.
Demonstrations have erupted in other cities. Most of them were peaceful, but police did clash with protesters in Washington state Wednesday.
The Los Angeles Police Department says they've made more than 500 arrests since Saturday, and the overnight curfew has decreased the amount of violence and looting. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Today, a court hearing between the state of California and the Trump administration expected to give some clarity to whether the
started in Los Angeles against the Trump administration's immigration crackdowns are expanding to other cities. Meanwhile, the head of Homeland Security says the unrest will not stop ICE agents from carrying out deportation raids. Elise Preston has the latest, including the removal of a U.S. representative during a Homeland Security news conference.
So I want to say thank you to every single person that has been able to do this.
Federal agents forcibly removed California Senator Alex Padilla from Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's news conference in Los Angeles Thursday after he interrupted her.
I'll have a conversation with him and visit and find out really what his concerns were. I think everybody in America would agree that that wasn't appropriate.
A spokesperson for Padilla says he was handcuffed at one point but is not currently detained.
If this is how the Department of Homeland Security responds to a senator with a question, you can only imagine what they're doing to farmers, to cooks, to day laborers.
You're a senator. You should know that already that there are procedures. If you have a question, why wouldn't you wait until when they say, do people have questions, and then ask your question? What?
To protect federal buildings and personnel in Los Angeles as anti-ICE protests continue.
I want to thank the Marines, the National Guard, our soldiers, our military men and women who've shown up here to help make sure that we have security.
The Trump administration says of the hundreds of undocumented migrants arrested in the LA area since operations began on Friday, about a third have prior criminal records. At an event Thursday, President Trump acknowledged the toll his immigration policy is having on the farming and hotel industries.
You know, they have very good workers. They've worked for them for 20 years. They're not citizens, but they've turned out to be, great. And we're going to have to do something about that.
The president said change.
Yeah, why they don't deport the criminals and shit like that? They're deporting workers, bro, like honest people.
What do you mean? They are hitting the criminals. Within just the people who were protesting or rioting, they got over 100 criminals.
Right, but they're getting like hardworking people as well. Like,
well,
you get what I'm saying?
I mean,
there's a reason why I'm glad that last part played, because I did see that clip earlier, and it was after our discussion in the chat about optics, which we're gonna have that discussion again when I get Pops on the phone.
Okay.
But it sounds like he's about to write an exception into action, I guess, into the ICE protocol or a law or whatever, to get off the fucking farmers. And he had hotel workers and shit in there too.
I couldn't hear the last part. Okay, say it again.
He had like hotel workers and shit in there too, but like farmers, hotel workers, shit to that nature. Like, I guess someone spoke to him. My guess is he listened to somebody and somebody moved him. But like he does realize that there's farmers there that, hold on, now that's why you can't hear me. There's farmers there that they're not legal, they're not documented, but they've been working with the same guy for like 20 fucking years. That's all they've been doing is fucking working, and they've been out of trouble, and he sympathizes with that. I'm glad that he's messaging that. I wish he messaged that stronger. I wish that I didn't catch that as the last moments of a press conference that he was having. I wish he was messaging more on that, because optically this looks a little like where you're at. Why are they attacking all the workers and shit too? I thought this was only about criminals, because that was where I was coming from. But like, yeah, I wish we were doing more messaging on that.
What is an undocumented immigrant?
If not a criminal, right?
It is a criminal.
It technically is a criminal.
So, I mean,
no, it technically is a criminal. But what he was insinuating, and this is why
I agree that they should be much lower priority. But everyone needs to get that thing, especially if they've been here for 20 years. Why have they not even put the process in place? If they started putting the process in place, then they wouldn't be able to be deported either.
There was. First off, the process isn't as easy as y'all think. I know because my dad.
I know, but if you at least have it started in place, the majority of the time they can't deport you when you at least have it started.
That's not 100% true. They're fucking.
There are stipulations.
They're going into immigration hearings and like not just immigration hearings. Like I'll bring it up on X while you're talking or while you're answering. But
some of those processes take a lifetime.
They're going into the court to like establish their citizenship, like final leg of citizenship. And they're getting roped right there at the court. Like, in the process of getting the citizenship.
You have videos of this?
Yeah. Hold on. I do, because I saw it earlier. Let me pull it up real quick. ICE deport. Or, you know what? ICE deport wife. That should come up. God damn it. I wish there was not so much shit going on. Hold on. I'll find it because I saw it yesterday. There's so much shit going on when you put fucking ICE deport wife, so I guess that's not helpful. Where was this?
You have to be careful with what you watch and everything too, because it could also be misrepresented. It's also fake shit going on.
Okay. Hold on.
Let's see.
Present, share screen, ICE, Alright, it's this lady.
I saw this video. There was a different story attached to this.
Yeah, okay. We don't have to go through the dramatics. Fuck, there was a longer video that showed where they were at. Yeah, okay, here. You see, they're at the courthouse.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything, though. Where is the actual story showing that they were there for the immigration process to finish it up, and that's why they got grabbed, or they got grabbed instead of that?
Yeah, that's happening now, but
because, like I said, I saw that clip, and I saw a different story attached to it.
What story did you see?
That she was undocumented, and it wasn't about going through the process.
Slender, some of the processes they get dragged out for the longest
I'm not
time.
saying it's not a possibility. Oh, well, the process is being dragged out. We already know that. I'm not talking about the process is being dragged out, though.
Okay.
When you're during the process, you cannot actually be deported when you're legally going through the process unless you fall under certain stipulations.
Unless what?
Unless you fall under certain stipulations.
Okay, here we go. Nobody in this thread speaks Spanish, so I'll make it easy for you all. The man is specifying, saying that he went down to the court for her legalization process, and instead she got arrested for trying to get her citizenship. That was what was being said in Spanish in the video. That's what the guy's husband was telling the ICE worker.
Is there a follow-up to it?
I'm not 100% if there's a follow-up to it. I saw this shit yesterday by chance.
Oh, man.
I would love to know if there's a follow-up to it, but...
Because there's really not a lot to go on here to really be certain of what's going on.
Hold up. I'm going to play the clip again because I think he'll explain it, and then we've got a couple... really, really fluent Spanish speakers here. All right, so let's see if they pick up on it. Because maybe that guy's lying. Who knows?
¿Su esposa? ¿Quisieras decir algo?
¿Eh?
Están mis hijas esperándolos en la casa. 6 niñas tengo que dependen de nosotros.
¿Ella es la mamá?
Sí.
¿Y por qué se la están llevando? ¿A qué vinieron?
Tumbaron el caso, según. Es lo que están haciendo ahorita, por eso no venga nadie.
He's talking about a house a lot.
Van a llevar a todos. Están ahí arriba muchos de migración esperando que les tumben el caso para llevárselos.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te
Yeah,
llamas?
he was. That's what.
¿Y ella cómo se llama?
The guy's right. The guy's right. That's what he was going in there. He was going in there to establish her citizenship. This was an immigration hearing. She was attending. She was doing what she was supposed to be doing. I'm not gonna go through the rest of it because I don't want to, play into the emotional shit of it. But just that.
Who was this? What was her name? I'm gonna find if there's any follow up on this.
I'm looking through the comments to see if it says. I don't know, but here, what I'll do is I'll link you the tweet, and then maybe you can find it while we're talking.
You said in the chat, Monkey, that it happens every 4 years. Right?
Yeah, LA riots like all the fucking time, like every 4 to 8 years. It feels like every fucking midterm and election, LA goes on a riot for something. All right, I mean. This place riots every time the Lakers do anything, okay? So, like, LA and rioting, that's like peanut butter and jelly. So, I want to say, because I'm glad that you're bringing that up, I don't feel like there's a... We had talked earlier about a political gain or a political motivation to really quell this situation in LA. And I had seen that, I had agreed that maybe not a political motivation, but there is a lack of effort to really put, like, because this could be solved tomorrow.
Wait, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the LA thing could be solved fucking tomorrow. Like, we saw Obama do it in Ferguson in 12 hours. Like, we saw Donald do it in fucking the Summer of Love. Like, this could be solved tomorrow. But there's two forces at play that don't want a solution. There's one that likes to play the victim, right, and they like to be like, oh, poor us, and look at what they're doing to us. These are the guys that play emotional politics and make you feel bad for them, and put the rest of that video of the lady crying when all you really needed was the first fucking 30 to 40 seconds of it to really get what the fuck was going on. Like, there's that. And then there's the other side of the ball that has promises to keep and wants people to see those promises being kept in a large way. So, right, I feel like this is a theatrical moment. And I feel like it's conveniently timed. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're about to pull up on the midterms pretty soon. Like, it's convenient.
Yeah.
My worry, or it's I don't want to say my worry because I don't want to sound like a fucking Republican. I'm a centrist. But if I was a Republican,
okay, so ICE will only arrest individuals at these junctures for hearing junctures if the person has prior deportation orders, missed hearings, or deemed enforcement priorities.
Deemed enforcement priorities? What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know. It's not saying anything specific here. I'm trying to look into that more.
Find out who the fuck that lady is. We need to know her whole story.
Her name was Rosemary Alvarado.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. Suggs is on the case. Yeah, find out if she was missing. That's important to know. Find out if she was missing her appointments.
That one's hard to figure out because that's not like that's like easily accessible public knowledge most of the time. If somebody's missed like a single appointment or whatever.
If they were bitching, they're probably on the news somewhere. So that detail may come out in the news. I'm not saying you'll find it. I'm saying that there's a chance. If they got covered, there's a chance. What do you call it? Where was I getting at? Fucking threw me off there for a second. Oh yeah.
So it caught apparently this type of situation just when it does happen can catch families off guard because of the fact that it's because the family is trying to do what they believe is following legal compliance, but if they missed something, whether by mistake or whatever, a hearing or whatnot, then it is grounds. So we do need to find out for sure if that is what happened, but I'm not finding that information so far.
And
can I say something real quick?
Okay.
All of you? Okay. I don't understand shit about law. Okay, I don't understand the system, but I could tell like a few stories that I know. If you guys allow me to say.
Go for it.
Some people, they spend 10, 20, even 30 years to get their citizenship. You get what I'm saying? And the system or the law, I don't know why, but the process gets dragged out for the longest time, and after a lifetime, they get deported.
It gets dragged out because there's not enough staff and resources working on it compared to the amount of people that are trying to come into this country.
Let me finish. Brother, you're so competitive, brother. Let me finish.
I'm not being competitive. I'm just letting you know that's the main reason it gets dragged out.
Because I'm not trying to antagonize. Okay, I'm just trying to understand what's going on.
All right, go ahead. Finish.
Yeah, I'm explaining it to you.
I forgot what the fuck I was saying, brother. It's so fucking... Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I wasn't arguing with you. I was just explaining what you were wondering about.
Bro, I'm a retarded old guy. Okay.
So what were you saying though?
It takes for
the saying the process gets dragged out.
Yeah, and then after 30 years, after they let him work here and break their fucking spine, then they deport those people. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of fucked up.
Not always.
Okay.
Again, there are stipulations. If you're going through the process, you normally can't just be dragged out for no reason. I just read it to you. If you miss a hearing, or if you have a deportation order, or and I'm guessing the other would be like criminal activities or things like that, because it says like enforceable, like things like that. So that's the only way you could actually get legally deported.
I can't argue. I don't really know.
What if they're doing it? What if they're doing it anyway?
Well, if there's evidence provided that they are just doing it anyway, even though that you've completely complied with everything, haven't missed a hearing, anything like that, then you have a case. And when you're in court, then
I'm not talking about just like in that. I'm talking about like, okay, maybe I should have brought in that. What if they're just like, what if they're deporting people that they just shouldn't be fucking deporting? Like, what if they don't care about that? Because there has been cases where like full ass American citizens got roped up.
I mean, people have been roped up, but they usually don't get deported.
No, there's been a few that have been shipped off and we had to bring back. We had to bring them back.
Right, I know, but I said usually. There have been rare instances, but we brought them back. I mean, mistakes happen. That's going to happen with a lot of things in general.
That's kind of traumatic. I know on paper it doesn't sound like a big deal because the end result is they came back.
It's traumatic for the person that has to deal with it. Yeah.
They had to take a trip to El Salvador, get their head shaved, sit in fucking whatever the fuck they're sitting in, and then come back. Like,
hey, it may not have been El Salvador. It may have been Guatemala. You don't know.
Yeah, talk about ruining a weekend, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Well, so this is also where identification and everything is important, because there's a lot of people that when they get roped up by law enforcement, they will just not want to identify themselves at all, no matter what's going on. Even when they're just getting in more and more trouble, they just still don't want to identify themselves.
Guys, it's 2-3 in the Panther game.
My peoples, I gotta wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and drive. So
good luck.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me and bearing with me.
Yes.
I know I'm annoying as fuck.
Oh, you're fine.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah,
have a good night, chap.
He fit that right in the ringer too. Wow. Well, that sucks. Anyway, all right. Let me see. What I was going to say was I don't know if optically, right before the midterms, it was a good idea to turn the heat up to 10. Like, I would have loved this in the long run. I don't know if it was a good idea right now. You know what I'm saying? Because optically, this is challenging. You know? And what I was saying in the chat earlier was like, Trump is pulling off what he's pulling off through executive order and majorities that he's enjoying in the Senate and the House. If he loses a majority in one of those two areas, it starts to become challenging what he can pull off. And
I mean, it's already challenging what he can pull off because even with that majority, there are people that are still against him.
Yeah, and it'll get even harder. So if we like the progress that we're at,
but it could also get easier if we deport enough people. They lose seats.
This is dependent on I feel the hearts and minds argument. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had the hearts and minds argument on the right very well at the end of the 2024 election. Now it's starting to get chipped away at. That lead that they had, it's starting to get chipped away at. Granted, not in the it's not getting chunked out because for every fucking 3 steps that the fucking Democrats get given, they'll fuck up 5 of them. So they don't know how to pick up fumbles that they get given. But eventually, you know, this is going to start aggravating enough people to where it may chip away at the lead going into midterms. And if you want that fucking majority, I don't know, man. I might have waited till it was secured, till the bag was secured. You had the rest of the other 2 years in the term to really turn the heat up. Now I feel like it's between this and Kash Patel not coming up with Epstein. This is tough shit. You know what I'm saying?
But if things don't change anyway, then even after the midterms, it wouldn't have made a difference.
That's a fair point, but I think enough has changed already. Like, we have deported a fuckload of people.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if we make a change to the seat number, then there's a chance of actually, you know, actionable things happening, like the Doge cuts that people would like, the bill cuts that they won't do because there's people on both sides that don't want them to go through. So if you have even more of a majority like that, then and more people that are more willing to put stuff through like that, then, you know, might actually be a little bit easier.
But if
however,
you have that secured,
if you just,
you know for sure.
You can't secure that, though, with what was going on, with the way things were going. There's already enough of a gate. So if nothing changed after the midterms without them doing anything, like them just keeping a campaigning and everything. So, so say we were going much lighter and everything, and it doesn't
feels
change.
Like they've opened up the net now. You know what I'm saying? It feels like they're now going on a grand scale. I wouldn't have opened up the net yet. I would have stayed the course as they were doing it in the first couple of months, and then waited for those midterms to go because they were making a difference, bro. Stayed with get the midterms done, and then open that fucking after you have the bag secured, open that net and fucking change the world or whatever the fuck you was gonna do. I don't know.
I mean, it might not have been enough of a difference going as slow as they were. Do you know how many undocumented are in California?
Specifically, yeah. Forget the rest of the country. Just California.
Exactly. And they are counted in the census, and that does affect congressional seating.
That's the other thing Brendan brought up that was a good point, is that they won't be counted in the next census because they won't be here.
Exactly.
That, and Cali's losing 3 electoral votes in the next process. Like, Florida's getting those electoral votes, actually.
Yep.
And
that's what I'm talking about. We needed a change like that. And if we didn't ramp it up, we wouldn't have gotten to that point. I mean, yes, I do agree it is very heavy-handed. It doesn't give the best optics to the people that are already... that are more, like, leaning, I guess, I should say. Or on the fence, but...
podcast. I'm driving.
Oh, okay. I'll call you in a second.
Call me in a little bit.
Alright. Fuck you. Alright, we'll wait for that second. Pops is fucking handling something real quick. There was another... There's another question. I was going to ask the PJ question when we got Pops on, but I'll wait for the PJ question. It'll only be like 10-15 minutes anyway. Charles,
PJ left the question?
Yeah, PJ came into UPOL just to ask a question.
Oh.
Charles, how you feeling? You got the sweat off your brow yet?
What? The fucking Canadians think they can win this game. Fuck them. What the fuck are they doing scoring points?
What the fuck are they doing scoring points? Listen, it's okay.
Kill 'em.
Oh no!
No!
Oh no, it's not okay!
What are we doing?
They've tied it!
What is this?
Tale of 2 periods! Bro, if this becomes another overtime, I'm gonna die.
You're ready for a third overtime, boys?
I'm gonna fuck. I hate this series.
Oh, fucking Christ. Oh, Bobby, come on. That was an easy one.
I mean, it was on
The twist is it was scripted to go into overtime. Haha.
Bro, it feels this series, it feels like that, dude. Tale of 2 periods, guys. All right. Let me see if I got. Yeah, let's do some craziness while we're waiting for my Pops to get done here.
Fucking Christ, Panthers, shit on their souls.
So believe it or not, LA was not the only things burning today.
First to the plane tragedy in India, where 241 people
Oh,
died,
right, I heard about
but
this.
one man aboard miraculously survived.
Yeah, one person
He right here,
survived.
bloodied but alive. It was after a Boeing 787. You see it there, crashed shortly after takeoff.
Oh, a
You can see it
Boeing!
right here
Who would have
at
guessed?
altitude
Oh, yeah, who would have
falling to the
guessed?
horizon. And then the ball of fire billowing from the wreckage. The plane's tail wedged into a building. Other parts of the plane everywhere you look as first responders rush to the scene in a cloud of chaos.
By the way, I'm not going to play it because I can't. But I saw an X video of like a decapitated head just sitting in the street.
Jeez.
Correspondent Tom Costello covers aviation for us, and he leads us off.
Caught on camera the moment Air India Flight
And
171
somehow some guy walked away from this with no broken bones. You know what I'm saying? Like,
lifted off from Ahmedabad,
Yeah,
Western
it
India,
was
headed from London
ridiculous.
Gatwick Airport. But only 600 feet off the ground, it quickly lost altitude and crashed in a horrific ball of fire. Dark black smoke billowing from the nearby neighborhood. Video captured the immediate aftermath as firefighters rushed in. Overhead, this striking image, the plane's tail sticking out of the side of a building as rescue teams frantically searched for victims.
Very tragic and very, very horrific. And even till now,
I have to say I'm in a state of shock.
Local authorities say the plane crashed into a medical college hostel just as students were eating lunch. Dozens injured, at least 5 thought to have died. Out of the 242 people on board the plane, the local police say only a single passenger was able to walk away. Viswash Kumar Ramesh, a British national, sitting in exit row window seat 11A and traveling with a brother who is still missing. Another brother in the UK spoke
that
to
brother's
Sky
dead,
News.
boy.
Called my dad. As he crashed, he said, "Oh, planes crashed." All of that. I don't know where my brother is. I don't see any other passengers. I don't know how I'm alive, how I exited the plane.
On board, passengers from India, the UK, Portugal, and Canada. The first crash ever involving the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, a plane with a stellar reputation and 1,100 in service worldwide.
Stellar reputation!
The plane taking off and noticing that the flaps on the back of the wings do not appear to be extended.
Without flaps and slats extended, the wing cannot produce enough lift at low speeds.
The nose of the plane is pointed up, indicating a possible aerodynamic stall, and the landing gear remains down well past the point it should have been retracted. Air India says the captain had 8,200 hours of flight experience, the first officer 1,100 hours. One of them radioed a mayday, but it's not clear who was piloting the plane. This is a difficult day for all of us at Air India, and our efforts now are focused entirely on the needs of our passengers, crew members, their families, and loved ones. While Indian investigators will be in charge, British and American NTSB and FAA investigators will assist. Boeing says it is cooperating with the investigation. Of critical importance, the plane's flight data and cockpit voice recorders may provide the clues into what went wrong.
And Tom Costello joins us now. Tom, tonight everyone is asking the same question. Are there any theories on why this one passenger survived?
Yeah, and it may be hard to know right now. This is where he was, seat 11A. This is the emergency exit, and this is business class. Was he catapulted out of the plane when it hit that building? We don't know.
This seat will never, ever again be available on any airplane.
Especially on a Boeing.
That seat is forever.
No, that's true.
That
any Boeing.
That seat is 5 times the amount of money as any other seat in that fucking plane in that section.
The ocean seat.
Yeah, exactly. The survivor seat. Like.
No, but experts say there's not one single seat that is always the safest because it depends where the plane.
Yeah, you can lie, but we got proof, bro.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated.
Well, it's not so much proof, but it is a good chance. If it happened consistently at least a few more times, then we can definitely say, okay, well that seat is for sure the survivor seat, and it will never ever be unavailable again.
So sending a team to
it'll be the new first class.
And investigation. It was in the air for roughly 30 seconds, as seen in the airport surveillance video. This Air India flight took off from the country's northwest region with 242 people on board. You can see it clearly struggling to
That's
gain
a
altitude,
big
getting
fucking
just about 600
plane, bro.
feet up before gliding
242?
into its descent. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner, fueled up for what would have been a 9-hour flight to London, erupted.
A 787? I didn't even know, bro. Like, holy fuck.
But by the same token, you'd have to be blind not to see that this aircraft did not have sufficient thrust to remain in the air. And that's going to be the question. Why?
It crashed into a densely populated residential area. Charred debris scattered. Part of the plane hit a local medical college. It's unclear if the crash injured or killed anyone on the ground. But miraculously, after police said there were no survivors, officials say one passenger survived the crash and is in the hospital, adding he was sitting in seat 11A. The BBC reports the survivor is a British man who called his family to say he's fine and that he doesn't know where his brother is, who was also on board. In the search for answers, a promising sign for investigators. The plane's tail, where the crucial black boxes are stored, is peeking out of the side of the medical college.
We know where his brother is now.
Thorough investigation. We are not going to spare anyone. We are not going to leave any stone unturned.
This is the first Boeing 787 Dreamliner crash ever.
What if the headless guy was his brother?
Hours of flying time. Boeing and Air India have each offered condolences and help with the investigation. The owner of Air India has also offered financial compensation to the families of each victim.
That would be fucked up.
Could you imagine?
Well, it's funny that you say that because I was gonna ask you the same thing. Hold up. I was gonna ask you the very same thing while I showed you this. That's inside the plane.
Holy shit. Yep. Plane is crashing. First thought, let's record this.
TikTok generation.
Seriously.
And I'm impressed that they got it uploaded before they blew up.
Seriously.
You gotta love that TikTok. Bro, first off, if that's...
Wait, hold on. aren't you supposed to not have your phones on and stuff during that time?
Oh my God! Someone forgot to put their thing in airplane mode and it crashed.
This is true.
How you don't put your shit on airplane mode?
Oh, someone just took a stick to the face.
Fuck him.
Oh no, someone took glass to the face.
Oh, in the play. Wait, this is. Oh.
Buddha! Verhey just put a fucking hit on that bitch's head. Ooh.
I love these moments because this only happens very often during the tryouts and everything.
He's definitely going in the box for this.
No, he's not.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a
of
fucking
course.
regular tackle. What the fuck?
Nah, he's going in the box for that.
He's a fucking regular
You're
tackle.
not allowed to target the head.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't know. That one looks pretty bad.
The optics are bad.
They're put. Oh no, wait, never mind. No, he's not going in the box.
Oh shit!
All right, hockey.
The optics are bad, but you fucking.
It did look like a box worthy, but yeah.
Hockey, it is, dude.
His face goes into the glass, but
now Carter's got to put it in the back of the net. That would be the insult.
Shut the fuck up! Crying ass bitch.
All right. Hold up. Oh, we did Padilla. We did the airplane. What else do we got here? Oh yeah, guys, it's going down. Did you know that? Did you see that earlier today?
What?
It's going down, bro. It's fucking going down.
Unprecedented attack on Iran.
U.S. officials have told CBS
brother.
News that Jerusalem is readying an operation against Tehran's nuclear program. That's despite the Trump administration's ongoing talks.
The Jews are mad!
Envoy Steve Witkoff is slated to meet with Iranian officials for a 6th round of those talks in coming days. The U.S. anticipates an Israeli attack could prompt Iran to retaliate on some American military and diplomatic sites in Iraq. That has led
Dreisaitl in the box!
non-emergency personnel from the country.
President Trump is downplaying the likelihood of an imminent Israeli strike on Iran's nuclear sites, but he's also warning Americans in the region to leave, citing the risk of conflict. His comments follow a vote by the UN nuclear watchdog declaring Iran in violation of its non-proliferation commitments. Here's what the president said earlier today.
Well, I don't want to say imminent, but it looks like it's something that could very well happen. Look, it's very simple, not complicated. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Other than that, I want them to be successful. I want them to be tremendous. We'll help them be successful. We'll trade with them. We'll do whatever is necessary. I want to have an agreement with Iran. We're fairly close to an agreement. As long as I think there is an agreement, I don't want them going in because I think that would blow it. Might help it, actually, but it also could blow it. There's a chance of massive conflict. We have a lot of American people in this area, and I said, we got to tell them to get out because something could happen soon.
For insight, we turn now to David Sanger, New York Times White House and national security correspondent. Thank you for being with us. So based on your reporting, what indicators point to this being a near-term decision for Israel, and what should we make of the contradictory signals coming from the White House?
Well, thanks for having me on. So the Israelis have been threatening for months now to take military action because Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu believes this is a unique moment of vulnerability for the Iranians. Israel knocked out many of their air defenses back in October during those missile exchanges, you may recall. Obviously, Hamas and Hezbollah are no longer in a position to respond to any kind of attack on Iran by taking it out on Israel. So the position that the Israeli government has taken is you'll never have a chance like this again, and that the Iranians will rebuild. President Trump has been saying, look, let's give diplomacy one last chance here, and his special envoy, Steve Witkoff, turned in a proposal to the Iranians a few weeks ago that would have gradually weaned them of their own enrichment of uranium and turned all of this over to an international consortium that Iran would be a member of, but it wouldn't be producing on Iranian soil. And the Iranians rejected that. And so now the question is, what are the Israelis doing? Are they really about to attack, or are they creating a condition that will allow Mr. Witkoff to go back on Sunday and say, look, you're going to give this up diplomatically, or you're going to lose it militarily?
Well, if Israel acts unilaterally, what's the risk that U.S. military forces in the region get drawn into this conflict?
Very high. Almost every time there has been modeling of what happens, even if Israel goes at this alone, it usually comes out with the U.S. getting involved, either because the Iranians attack U.S. bases in the region, which they have threatened to do in this case, or because they attack Israel and the United States steps in to defend its allies.
See, that's what doesn't make sense. If Israel decides to go unilaterally, and Iran even knows that they do, they still want to attack U.S. bases. So it's like you want to provoke a greater conflict instead of just...
So it's funny.
That's so stupid. So retarded.
It's funny that they said that because you could tell that this guy lives in an American time zone, right? So
Yeah.
he definitely said this before this. So this is Tehran, and things are up in smoke. Hold up. We got bombing sites all up and down Tehran.
اینجا رو زدن، اینجا رو هم زدن، این لرزانم زدن، پشتم زدن، پشت لرزانم زدن.
Still unverified as of now, but or at least an hour ago. But we'll see. That definitely does not look good.
Yeah. So,
but it does look like Israel would have been acting unilaterally if that's the case. Which, again, why would you threaten to attack U.S. bases if the U.S. isn't doing anything?
Because that's what Israel does, or that's what Iran does in these situations.
Yeah, because they just want to drive a greater conflict and get their asses rammed into the ground.
No, because they're hoping that Russia and China will help them out.
Yeah, I doubt that at this point.
Trump wants to go do that, and one of the differences between this and the Iran crises of a decade ago is that the Arab states also want to keep the region pretty peaceful right now, and don't view the Iranian nuclear threat as quite as imminent or actually focused on them. But the fact of the matter is that if you just read the International Atomic Energy Agency reports, Iran now has the fuel to make about 10 nuclear weapons, and they would get the fuel together in fairly short order, a matter of weeks. It could take months or a year to actually fabricate that into a working weapon.
Well, in the context of past Middle East crises, how significant is this moment?
It's a pretty significant one, but do remember that Prime Minister Netanyahu has gone right to the edge of attacking Iran and its facilities several times before, and always pulled back. Now, the conditions, the strategic conditions, as I said, are very different, and his political base is very different here. He's on pretty thin ice with his own coalition right now, and this might be a way of sort of unifying them. On the other hand, if he goes in without American support on the initial attack, there's a limited amount of damage he could do to the Iranian nuclear facilities. The ones that are deep underground, half a mile or so, in a mountain called Fordo, the Israelis probably cannot reach. And so then the question is, if you've only set them back a year and a half, 2 years, is it worth the enormous risk of triggering another regional war?
David Sanger, thank you so much for bringing some context and clarity to this. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, God.
Major Gary Washington.
I hate
Defense
this,
Minister
but okay.
Israel Katz, who says, and I want to read this.
Hold on. My bad.
In full here. He says, following the State of Israel's preemptive strike against Iran, a missile and drone attack against the State of Israel and its civilian population is expected in the immediate future. Two important parts to that sentence there. First,
when was
the
this?
Minister is acknowledging that Israel has carried out what he calls a preemptive strike against Iran. This is what we've been looking for over the course of the past days, and frankly, something the U.S. has been tracking for several weeks now, the possibility that Israel will carry out a strike against Iran. There are some social media reports of explosions happening in Tehran. Unclear what the targets are of those. There's still a lot more information we need there, but Israel's defense minister has acknowledged that they have carried out strikes against Iran. The first time in months that we have seen direct Israeli action against targets in Tehran. Again, unclear what those targets are, whether it's Iranian nuclear facilities or other targets. So we will wait to learn more about that. But following that, the defense minister has said that Homefront Command has essentially shifted the entire country into an emergency status, and that the population here is expected to follow the instructions of Homefront Command. A short time ago, we heard sirens going off here in Jerusalem behind us. We got messages on our phone related to those sirens saying Homefront Command is putting the country on alert, and the defense minister is saying that Israel expects an imminent missile and drone attack incoming following Israel's strikes against Iran. I will also read a statement we've gotten from Israel's military, the Israel Defense Forces, that says, following the situational assessment, it was determined that as of today at 3 in the morning, immediate changes will be made to the Homefront Command guidelines. As part of the changes, it was decided to shift all areas of the countries from full activity to essential activity, and that brings with it a prohibition on educational activities, gatherings, and workplaces, except for essential sectors. So you see the immediate shift coming from the government and from the military and the defense minister in light of what they expect to be a potential large-scale response and retaliation from Iran that may be incoming, at least according to the statement we're seeing here, imminently here. And of course, you have to note the timing here. The U.S. was still intending to carry out nuclear talks, a 6th round with Iran just in the coming days here on Sunday in Oman. This is a remarkable move from Israel to essentially cut those off and carry out this series of strikes that will have reverberations across the region from this moment, from the impact of what's happening right now. We will certainly wait.
And then Fox is
Fox News alert, we're getting word that Israel's launching preemptive
I am
against
seeing
Iran.
as well that it is confirmed that Israel, or at least as far as we can tell, because some officials from Israel are saying that they are conducting it and everything. So
that's pretty big moves.
I mean, that area is always in conflict in general, but depending on how things go, it could escalate further or not escalate further, or I mean, to the extent of, actually getting full involvement type of deal.
Big moves coming from Israel, bro.
Yeah.
That it could be a nothing burger too, because Iran doesn't. It depends on what they've destroyed, I think. Because Iran doesn't always retaliate. I've noticed that too. But that's interesting shit. Yeah, that was going on right when we were going live. Alright, let me it's gonna be our last conversation for tonight, so let me see if Pops is ready for it.
I need that shirt. War bad, boobs.
Yeah.
Yo.
What's up?
Okay.
I'm still driving, but go ahead.
Alright, but you're alright. So, hold on. You're gonna hear an echo. Sorry about that. I'll try to hit the mute button when you're talking. Give me a sec. Alright. Turn this down a bit here. Okay, cool. So, the question that was posed to the chat earlier today by PJ, Charles is also going to answer, I'm sure. But the question was, are you guys still winning after everything that's happened so far with the Trump presidency and on an overall?
Oh, are you kidding?
No, that was a real question. I figured you were better qualified to answer it.
Yeah.
Do you feel better about? Do you feel good or bad about the deportations right now?
Yeah. I feel great about the deportations right now.
Not worried at all about the optics of it?
Nope.
Not even in a little bit? Nope.
Nope. Fuck them. Get them out. That's what we fucking voted him for. That's why we voted him in. Get him the fuck out.
Oh.
I don't care if they're abuelitas. I don't care if they're babies. I don't give a shit. I had to go through the proper channels to be a citizen in this country. As far as I'm concerned, I did it. They could have. Fuck them. Get them out.
Yo,
yeah, we're winning.
How long did that take you?
How long did it take me?
Yeah, the process of that.
The process took me a few months.
Okay.
And $1,000.
A few months and $1,000.
Yeah, I'm seeing online from even what you sent me that if you're married, it even takes like shorter time, basically.
What? Bro, you come into the country legally, okay? You have 7 years to become a resident. In that 7 years, probably you could do it right away. It takes about 7 years to become a citizen. You're a permanent resident if you come into the country until you become a citizen. At least that's the way it worked for Cubans. I can't speak for other people, but regardless, you come into the country legally, you can become a citizen if you just go through the effort. If you're not, and you've been here 20 fucking years and you came into the country illegally, go fuck yourself, get the fuck out. That's the way I see it. Sorry, But if I did it, everybody can do it. I have no sympathy for that. None whatsoever.
And I do have to say, everyone that I hear that has gone through the process, like firsthand or anything, says similar, that it hasn't been a very difficult process.
It's not really a difficult process, bro. You just gotta fucking answer a few questions, you know, and wait. You get pictures, you get fingerprints, you get a passport. It's very simple. It's a very simple process.
You go to a orientation meeting,
and if you can't answer who was the first president, who was the 16th president, how many stars does the damn flag have?
I don't think I
how many stripes does the flag have? These basic civic questions. If you can't answer that, maybe you shouldn't be in the country. You see what I'm saying, bro? Very basic shit. You don't need to know Swahili or anything. It's very basic stuff. And if you come to my country, which is now my country because I am a citizen, okay, and you want to wave your fucking stupid fucking flag from your other country that you left, fuck you. You don't need to be in my country. Got it?
Charles, the 16th president is fucking Abraham Lincoln, dude.
That's one
you gotta know.
Wait, you didn't know that?
That's one you gotta know, dude. That's one you gotta know.
No, I don't need that knowledge at any point. Where he falls.
Listen, don't even ask a Cuban that had to become a citizen if we're not good with the deportations. We are totally good with the deportations. We fucking love it.
Okay.
Cause the country we left, we don't want them motherfuckers following us. Fuck that shit. You either come in legally or get the fuck out. Simple as that. End of story. Yeah, we're winning. I love it.
Do you worry that this might have a negative effect on the midterms?
No, not whatsoever. The Democrats are fucking done, bro. They believe in every fucking thing that's bad for this country. I have no fear of the midterm elections. None. You gotta be a motherfucking idiot to vote for that. Or you just one of the motherfuckers that we're kicking out. One or the other.
We didn't get to ask you the other day, but I had asked you, I think, on the phone about this too. The thing with Kash Patel and Bongino coming up empty on Epstein.
Dude, do you think that Kash Patel and Bongino is going to tell the public the fucking truth of what the fuck they're doing? They're the fucking FBI. Do you think they're going to fucking come out on Fox News and tell you guys Jeffrey Epstein did this or this and that? You're not going to fucking do that, bro. Throw some fucking brains. That's not how this shit works.
So, are we ever going to get the truth about that?
Probably at some point when it's fucking clear. When they decide they're going to put it out.
Will I be your age before I find out if Jeffrey...
No, you're not going to be my age. You'll find out within this fucking 4-year term, I'm sure.
We're just finding out about JFK, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, there's so much shit that this fucking disgusting government has done. You know? So, I mean, it takes time, dude. Look at the bureaucracy. Look what was going on with USAID and these other things. Come on, man. They're paying protesters right now. They say that it's organic, but they're paying these protesters right now $200. Some of them as high as $1,200 to go fucking protest in all these cities.
Yeah, I had a theory earlier where I thought I'm pretty sure that this, like, okay, I feel like there is a optics game being played in LA. I feel like
no shit.
There's Sam. I have been seeing on Twitter yesterday and today that these riots were trying to be duplicated in other places. New York.
Yeah, New York, Georgia, a couple of fucking other places. Chicago.
But their police departments in all of these cities, even the blue ones, even New York, stamped them motherfucking things out at the beginning. They did not. They didn't even look anything close to what LA looks like today.
They already know, Rick. There's fucking flyers going around on what's that stupid Chinese fucking shit show TikTok? Fucking TikTok. There's fucking flyers floating around on TikTok saying that they're all going to coordinate this Saturday to do all these fucking riots all over the fucking place. Yeah, everybody knows about that already.
I don't think that the LA Police Department's really trying. Is what I'm saying.
Whose police department? LA's?
LA's. I don't think
they weren't. They weren't. They were told to stand down.
I don't think they were trying from the jump because I've seen
they weren't.
If the NYPD can fucking stomp this shit out at the source with the amount of people that they have in that little fucking area, the LAPD could have stomped this out. And I feel like both sides have an optics game going, so there's like no rush to fix LA right now. There's one side that wants to be fucking there's one side that wants to be victims, and there's the other side that wants to display that their promises are being kept. So it feels like
LA's chief of police only came out after Trump sent the National Guard and said, yeah, we really needed that help. Only then did he say something. Because he was being suppressed.
Gavin Newsom saying that fucking he never contacted Trump about that he's fucking lying.
And that's bullshit as well, because Trump showed the receipts. Here, this is when I called him. Here, this is how long the conversation lasted. He showed the receipts.
People are challenging.
Did you know that?
People are challenging those receipts. They said that.
Yeah, well, people are fucking idiots. People are. Who am I going to believe? Newsom? Yeah, I'm going to believe Newsom.
I don't even want to begin on Karen Bass because all she's been doing is basically a bunch of fucking nothing.
She's a little communist cunt.
I got a question for you. Trump had mentioned something at the end of a press conference where he was...
Just realized my mic has been messed up this whole time.
Yeah.
Thanks for saying something.
I didn't know. I'm finding out when you're finding out, bud.
Well, I'm usually much more clear than what I was.
You're also
dude.
Maybe I don't hear that, but
No. You're echoing because I'm not on mute, and I got Pops on the phone.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah, but you did sound like you had a wind, like you were in a hurricane earlier.
So my microphone was going through my webcam on the meeting here. That's why it was sounding...
That's a great fucking microphone for a webcam, because otherwise you were pretty fucking clear. But, alright. Pops, at the end of one of Trump's press conferences today, he said, or insinuated, that he was going to make I guess some amendments or some leniency laws for farmers and leisure workers and shit. I wanted to know if you had any more info on that, or if you heard about that.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't hear that.
Because I feel like that's playing into the optics a little bit. Is that What my worry was earlier, what I was bringing up earlier, the reason why I was bringing up the midterms earlier is I felt like if you're a Republican, maybe you wanted to see Trump and ICE stay the course as the way they were doing in the first couple of months and wait till the midterm bag was secured, and then
no, bro. Listen.
open the net.
Even Texas, they were going to do that shit in Texas, and the governor over there already called out the National Guard.
Yeah,
and by the way,
I'm talking.
You know why that shit doesn't happen here in Florida?
Because our fucking governor already said we'll run you over.
That's right.
Yeah, we played.
Motherfucker. Hey, you have a right to defend yourself. If you get fucking approached by a mob, keep going. If you run them over, it's on them. Fuck them.
But I'm talking more along the lines of the optics when we go into ballot boxes for fucking the midterms. All right, so I felt like
ain't no optics, Rick. If you wait a minute, hold on a minute. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
If you look at just the CNN, and this is CNN, we all know about CNN. Look at their polls, and the country is behind Trump on this issue, 100%. Well, no, not 100%. They're behind Trump on this issue, totally. By their polls, and that's bullshit.
Okay. But do we worry that maybe we might be, because this just happened like a week ago?
No, I don't worry about shit.
Okay.
I'm not worried about it. I don't think the Republicans are worried about it.
My worry was optics.
The only thing they're gonna have to worry about is if they don't fucking pass that bill soon. Then they're gonna have to worry. That's what it's all on. That bill that big beautiful bill, that needs to pass.
Are we worried that we don't have Elon's
not at all
support on
that's
that?
Not at all. Elon's backtracked too. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, I saw that he apologized on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Which that was a funny three.
Listen, bro, that was all a fucking troll. I don't know if you guys really know that, but that was all a troll. And you know, Elon's interest is the debt ceiling. What it's going to do to the debt ceiling. So those senators are going to have to shave some of that fucking debt ceiling spending. And that's what that troll was all about. Because when you think about it, yeah, it is a little bit high.
Yeah.
Of course, when you consider the taxes that are being cut and what'll happen with the economy, that may not be that big of a factor in the long run. But I agree with some of those senators that it is a little bit a lot of spending there.
It's another reason why I'm glad Trump said something about the farmers, because I was worried about that effect, that economic effect too. Because if we deport,
Trump's always got the farmers back.
Trump had said something early, basically, to paraphrase it, it was, you know, he was explaining like that he understands that a lot of the farmer market, they're undocumented. But they've been working for a guy for like 20 years.
Well, you know what? That thing's got to change. Yeah, I heard something about that.
Yeah.
If the farmers are relying on fucking undocumented motherfuckers,
he said something about
they're gonna have to hire Americans.
Well, maybe not. Trump said something about maybe cutting these farmers a break, because he was explaining like, you know, these guys. They've been in the country. They're undocumented, yes, but they've been working in the same place for 20 years. They've been doing nothing but that for 20 years. They're great workers. To be honest, it sounded like he talked to somebody that was in the business. Like he talked to a farmer, and the farmer moved him or something, because it sounded like he was understanding. Like, maybe I don't want to throw out all the fucking farming market. And it might also play into, like, you know, the economic effect of that, because I was even wondering, like, what's the economic effect of that? If we put a bunch of Americans that want to get paid better in the farmer market, what's that going to do to our the price of food? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he's reasonable like that, so that's a possibility.
I think he also made a mention about leisure workers, which makes me feel like maybe he's got his hotels in mind. Maybe he second thought, oh fuck, wait a minute, what about my staff? You know?
Nah, bro. You know, I wouldn't worry about that, because like certain people, they'll just get documented real fast. Just like that program that we have to bring in the certain smart people.
Yeah.
To work in, you know, the space program or whatever. There's exceptions to each rule. There's exceptions to the rule. But I guarantee you he'll have them fucking get documented. Because
that's what I'm thinking.
He'll just have them fucking become citizens, bro. That simple. But all these other motherfuckers, dude, Israel just bombed the shit out of Iran.
Yeah, just saw.
Do you know how many fucking Iranians we have in the United States? Do you know what a fucking threat that is?
Yeah, let's talk about that, bro, because we were just going over that.
Because that is a huge fucking threat. Okay? Let's just stop these motherfucking Iranians that are already here from plotting some shit and taking some shit out.
Nothing, because they already threatened the U.S. bases over there.
Do what now?
He said nothing.
They already threatened the U.S. bases over there because of what happened, because of being attacked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we've already told them that if they fucking touch one fucking American over there, we're gonna join the party with a lot of firepower.
I don't think we're gonna wait for that.
Great. It's gonna get us
Israel. Right now, Israel says, and did you hear Netanyahu a little while ago or no?
No, but go ahead and paraphrase it, and I'll look up the clip real quick.
I heard Nettie a little while ago give a speech or address the nation or whatever, and he says that they are not going to stop until Iran's nuclear capabilities have been totally eliminated.
Okay, hold up. I got it. We're gonna play this real quick. Give me a sec.
Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. They've backed up their genocidal rhetoric with a program to develop nuclear weapons. In recent years, Iran has produced enough highly enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs. 9. In recent months, Iran has taken steps that it has never taken before, steps to weaponize this enriched uranium. And if not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year. This is a clear and present danger to Israel's very survival. 80 years ago, the Jewish people were the victims of a Holocaust perpetrated by the Nazi regime. Today, the Jewish state refuses to be a victim of a nuclear Holocaust perpetrated by the Iranian regime. Now, as Prime Minister, I've made it clear time and again, Israel will never allow those who call for our annihilation to develop the means to achieve that goal. Tonight, Israel backs those words with action. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program. We targeted Iran's main enrichment facility in Natanz. We targeted Iran's leading nuclear scientists working on the Iranian bomb. We also struck at the heart of Iran's ballistic missile program. Last year, Iran fired 300 ballistic missiles at Israel. Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion. We also defend others. We defend our area for Israel. You see, the old plan failed. Iran and its proxies tried to encircle Israel with a ring of fire, and to attack us with the horrible attack of October 7th. But the people of Israel, the soldiers of Israel, rose like lions to defend our country. We crushed Hamas, we devastated Hezbollah, we hit Iranian proxies in Syria and Yemen. And when Iran directly attacked us twice last year, we struck back inside Iran itself. Yet in defending ourselves, we also defend others. We defend our Arab neighbors. They too have suffered from Iran's campaign of chaos and carnage. Our actions against Iran's proxy Hezbollah led to the establishment of a new government in Lebanon and the collapse of Assad's murderous regime in Syria. The peoples of those two countries now have a chance for a different future, a better future. So too do the brave people of Iran, and I have a message for them. Our fight is not with you. Our fight is with the brutal dictatorship that has oppressed you for 46 years. I believe that the day of your liberation is near. And when that happens, the great friendship between our two ancient peoples will flourish once again. I want to assure the civilized world, we will not let the world's most dangerous regime get the world's most dangerous weapons. And Iran plans to give those weapons, nuclear weapons, to its terrorist proxies. That would make the nightmare of nuclear terrorism all too real. The increasing range of Iran's ballistic missiles would bring that nuclear nightmare to the cities of Europe and eventually to America. Remember, Iran calls Israel the small Satan. It calls America the great Satan. And this is why for decades, it's led millions in the chance of death to Israel and death to America. Today, Israel is responding to those genocidal calls with action and with a call of our own. Long live Israel and long live America. Our action will help make the world a much safer place. I want to thank President Trump for his leadership in confronting Iran's nuclear weapons program. He has made clear time and again that Iran cannot have a nuclear enrichment program. Today, it is clear that Iran is just buying for time. It refuses to agree to this basic requirement of peaceful nations. That is why we have no choice but to act, and act now. The hardest decision any leader has to make is to thwart a danger before it is fully materialized. Nearly a century ago, facing the Nazis, a generation of leaders failed to act in time. They were paralyzed by the horrors of World War I. They were determined to avoid war at all costs, and they got the worst war ever. They adopted a policy of appeasement. They closed their eyes and ears to all the warning signs. That failure to act resulted in World War II, the deadliest war in history. It claimed the lives of 60 million, including 6 million Jews, a third of my people. After that war, the Jewish people and the Jewish state vowed, never again. Well, never again is now. Today, Israel has shown that we have learned the lessons of history. When enemies vow to destroy you, believe them. When enemies build weapons of mass death, stop them. As the Bible teaches us, when someone comes to kill you, rise and act first. This is exactly what Israel has done today. We have risen like lions to defend ourselves. Over 3,000 years ago, Moses gave the people of Israel a message that has steeled their resolve ever since. Be strong and courageous, he said. Today, our strong and courageous soldiers and people stand together to defend ourselves against those who seek our destruction. And by defending ourselves, we defend many others, and we roll back a murderous tyranny. Generations from now, history will record that our generation stood its ground, acted in time, and secured our common future. May God bless Israel. May God bless the forces of civilization everywhere.
They ain't fucking playing, brah. They ain't playing.
And he's not wrong about the rhetoric. So.
No, he's not. He's really not. They did this now.
They said they hit the facility, the bomb, the guy who made the bomb.
Yep. They took out fucking Tehran's, where the Ayatollah lives. The whole fucking building's gone.
They said the launcher, the plane, the bomb, the facility, the guy who made it, the oil that it was made with, the fucking ground it was made on,
and the water that it fucking cools the fucking uranium and shit. They fucking blew that shit up. They're fucking them up, and they took out the fucking air. They have no planes to really fight Israel.
And
they took out the fucking airport.
People, by the way, that fucking Hassan Piker and those other motherfuckers want to say are indiscriminate. These guys have got fucking deadly accuracy if they're just hitting that.
No, what they got is intelligence. The fucking intelligence that the Israelis have inside of Iran is unfucking believable. They've got some seriously good intelligence because they know where everything is at.
Damn. Bro, you gotta admit, this is, I mean, other than the grander ramifications of all this, it is kind of cool to see Israel beating the shit out of Iran. But then you have to realize that this might lead to bigger things for us.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Now we got
talking about, then might not.
Well, the fact that we have Iranian cells in our country is a fucking problem. It's a problem, and who did that? The last administration let them in. Now we got to deal with it. We don't know where, we don't know how, but we got to deal with it. So yeah, we're gonna deport everybody. Fuck them. Let fucking ICE rock and roll.
I like how you.
The only way that fucking we lose the midterms is if that big beautiful bill doesn't pass, because in that big beautiful bill there's gonna be thousands more ICE fucking people. Then we will vote them the fuck out. That shit's gotta pass, and it will pass. It'll pass. The adjustments will be made, and it'll pass. I'm really confident on that. Because there's a lot of things in that bill that are fucking fantastic. Yeah, it's got a little bit more spending than I like, but you know what? Especially now, we need that bill to pass.
I don't want to speculate, but we're in the business of speculation. So,
yeah. What
do you guys think about going into World War III? I'm kidding.
We're not gonna go into World War III. Right now, we're staying out of the Israel and Iran fight.
I don't think that we're gonna have an option to stay out of that.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. If they start some shit here, then we don't have an option. If they start some shit here, then it's on like Donkey Kong, bro. I mean, you know. But Iran isn't the threat. The threat is more Russia than Iran. So, if we get involved, then Russia's going to get involved. That's why we're trying to keep it like this. But if they fucking attack us from within, I don't know if Russia can say some shit. I don't know. Because fuck, what if somebody attacks Russia from within? We can't fucking say shit.
Ukraine already did that.
You know?
Ukraine did that last week.
Yeah, and we didn't say shit. We didn't say nothing. Fuck, there's nothing we can do. That's not our war. You know? So if Iran does the same shit, tries to do the same shit in our country, and we fucking fuck them up, they can't say shit either. I mean, what the fuck?
TSA and shit's got to be on some fucking high ass alert for the next few weeks.
Oh yeah, bet it.
Because the last thing we need is a second 9/11, you know.
Yo. And this is fucking. I mean, this was gonna happen because Iran can't have a nuclear weapon, bro. That's the bottom line. It was always gonna happen. It was always gonna happen. Whether we did it or Israel did it, it was always gonna.
Israel was gonna jump the gun before Trump said, "All right, I'm fed up."
Yeah. Trump was holding them off till now, bro. But in today's, if you notice today when they fucking had the press conference, he's like, I don't know. They better do something. They better negotiate. Shit, here's Mike calling me now. Fuck.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up anyway.
All right. Well, you guys have a good night.
You too, boss.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, bro, we're going into some crazy times, guys. All right, hold on. Let me get my headphones back in so I can stop with the echoing. So, apparently y'all are still winning. Charles, you should feel good.
We're not winning until the Canadians lose.
I was gonna hold on. Let me get these. All right. I was gonna ask you the same question because I don't know if you answered it when PJ asked you, or maybe you didn't. I don't remember.
I mean, I'm not as big of a Big Beautiful Bill fan as your dad. I do think spending is important. Trying to cut. I didn't think some of the provisions that people were worried about, I was too worried about, like the Medicaid stuff and all those. Oh my! I can't concentrate. This game is killing me.
Trust, I get it. Here, let me help you.
Torture.
There you go.
Oh, thanks. That's
just
appreciated.
Look at my screen.
Oh, I can look at you. Okay, I can look at your screen while. Yeah, I mean, I would say still winning for the time being. I love the drama. I love the content. So anytime there's that, winning. I think there are some L's with the Epstein stuff. I think that I'm a little worried about Patel.
Yeah, no, I'm worried about Cash too, dude.
You know, and Bongino being, you know, FBI cocksuckers. We know what their real stance was before they got into these positions, so you can't backtrack me now pretending to play dumb. Like, I know they're just playing career politician at this point. So fuck them for that. So that's kind of an L. I don't think I'm too worried about the midterms yet, only because the Democrats have doubled down on being absolutely the dumbest pieces of shit, illegally loving bastards, and just anarchy as possible. And that doesn't sit well with anyone middle or right. So in that aspect of things, I was a little worried during the Elon Trump, you know, feud that took place. But, you know, the Democrats came in like, get down, Mr. President, and decided to just go full retard. So thanks for that, I guess.
Luckily for them riots, right?
So yeah, technically still winning. I'm not, you know, I feel for some of these people that are getting shipped off, but
yeah,
God damn it.
I just heard that Trump put out a fucking countrywide curfew at 7:00.
Oh, here comes
Mike was just telling me about it. He's going to send it over to me. I'll send it to you.
That makes that okay.
Everybody's going to be under curfew. 7:00 curfew.
7 p.m. to country.
All the states.
I doubt that. I don't.
Because he's sending the National Guard to every fucking state in the union,
except Florida.
Including
we're pretty much going to be under martial law.
Bro, why? Nothing's happening in Florida.
Including Florida? I mean,
that doesn't make any sense.
happening here. We're
That's
shooting.
fake news. That has to be
because
fake
of
news.
these
fucking. My God, no!
Oh my God!
No way.
The choke.
We were up 3-0 in this fucking game.
A monumental.
Oh, the game. What's the score of the game?
4-3 Edmonton.
What is it? 4-3 Edmonton?
4-3 Edmonton. They came back from, bro, we had 3-0 coming out of the first period.
Yeah, well, you can't count them out, bro.
Oh, my.
Choke of all choke.
All this other shit going on.
No!
Okay,
sorry.
There's still time left?
Yeah, there's still time.
Yeah, but this is Montreal to, you know, fucking level of choke.
Well, let me see what Mike sends me.
All right, so
I'll send it to you.
Send me it back.
All right, bye.
Now you see, if Canada wins, there will be riots in Florida.
I agree. I say burn it down.
Fuck yeah, dude. This is supposed to be a gentleman's sweep. What the fuck, man?
Oh man! Now we gotta hope for overtime. This
we
is
need
disgusting.
a goal in a bad way. Golly.
Bobby fought so hard this whole game.
So I sent an update in the chat from Dan Bongino tweeted out regarding that senator that we saw in the clip earlier.
This is so stupid. How do you give up a fucking 3-0 lead?
You sent a clip?
No, it was a
screenshot.
A screenshot.
With regard to the I see it. Where the fuck? Here we go. I don't know if that's big enough for you guys.
Yeah.
There we go.
Who the fuck lets you come back from 3 down, bro?
With regard to the incident in L.A. this afternoon, the senator in question was not wearing a security pin and physically resisted law enforcement when confronted. Our FBI personnel acted completely appropriately while assisting Secret Service, and we're grateful for their professionalism and service. So, Buddy was just trying to be a dick at the fucking press conference, basically.
Yep. Which is pretty much how it looked from the clip that we saw. And then just use that to play victim after being thrown out.
Israeli
I'm trying to
forces
see
struck
what
the
else, what's
Iraq
going on.
heavy water production plant. The heavy water facilities in Iraq provide heavy water for the nearby IR reactor. Oh, I guess that's what passes. Second wave of Israel strikes are now striking in Natanz underground nuclear facilities. Trump allegedly told Israel not to carry out strikes against Iran. Oh, shit. So Israel's just balls deep, baby. Iran officially declared war after the strikes. We're in war. Holy shit. Israel versus Iran. Israel's just been picking fights, bro, after the Gaza thing. At the end of everything, when this is all said and done, October 7th really is going to have a lot of significance behind it because they really pissed the Jews off, bro. Like in a big fucking way. And they've been fucking things up ever since. They have just been bombing everything to Kingdom Come. You know what? We're done. We're absolutely done. Fuck everybody. World War III it up, baby. Like, holy fuck. We're going to get dragged into that. I have this insane feeling we're going to get dragged into that.
We might.
Alright. We're going to stay for the last 5 minutes of this game, then I'm signing off. So, either we lose tonight, or we tie it, and then we lose tonight. Charles, I don't know how the fuck I can survive 7 games of the series, bro. I'm tired of it. We were up 3-0, dude.
I'm not seeing anything for sure. I'm trying to find out more information, but people are trying to ask who was on that flight that crashed.
I think it was just a commercial flight.
Even so,
how do you give up a 3-0 lead at home? At home.
Yeah. There are people that are finding it very odd, and it is honestly a bit odd how the things it's hard to see exactly what's going on in the video too still, but somebody's trying to point out in one version in the video that there's a object or something.
Trump's saying he advised every governor in the fucking state of the union and the fucking United States to deploy the National Guard. You need to hear this fucking speech. Mike's sending you the link. Because I didn't know how to fucking forward it
through
on my
text
phone.
message or through?
Can we invade
through
Canada?
Text message? He's sending it to your phone.
Okay.
Mike's, Mike, our guy, Mike.
Yeah. I haven't gotten anything.
You will.
Okay.
I'll send it to you. I don't know how to forward it. But ever since this upgrade, I don't know how to do shit like that with my phone. All I can do is download pictures and send pictures. I can't fucking send videos unless it's right from X.
These guys got 3 minutes to make a fucking goal.
Oh boy.
Or we're gonna drop a 3-0 lead at home.
That sucks.
It's fucking wild.
Give these guys back their home ice.
Yep.
That's fucking incredible. After beating the entire shit out of them.
Yeah, that would suck. But, never know.
Among the identified passengers was former chief minister of Gujarat, British nationals from England who were listed on the passenger manifest. This was basically a commercial flight. This was an international flight.
What are you talking about?
Oh, we're talking about the plane crash that happened today.
In India?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Check it out. Let me know if you got it. Okay. I'm gonna go.
All right.
All right.
Following measures are going into effect immediately. First, we are ending the riots and lawlessness that has spread throughout our country.
This
We'll
is.
end it now. Today, I have strongly recommended to every governor
God damn it.
to deploy the National Guard to protect our great capital, Washington, D.C. Will be strictly enforced.
You guys are gonna laugh your ass off when I talk when I make this next phone call. God damn it. You're gonna laugh your ass off. You're gonna fucking die laughing.
Yo.
Pops.
Yeah.
That's from the Summer of Love, man.
What? Well, Mike just sent that to me.
That video is from the Summer of Love.
Okay.
That's,
I don't know.
That video is like.
They're trying to spread misinformation.
I was wondering why I didn't see it on TV.
Yeah, no, that's from the Summer of Love. That was when.
Why does fucking Mike? Why does Mike do that? I'm gonna call him up now. I'm gonna call him up and tell him that, bro. What the fuck's wrong with it? Bye.
Right.
He probably only looks to social media.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. All right, empty net. 145, guys. Come on. We need one. We need to do this. No. Don't let it leave the zone. Don't let it leave the zone. If it leaves the zone, we're cooked. This cannot leave the zone. Oh, man. Guys, I think we're cooked. I think we're going to fucking drop a 3-goal lead.
Not something you want to do while heading to an away game. Let me tell you that. Not something you want to do. Although Panthers are pretty good on the road for whatever fucking reason.
God. Brendan was right. Brendan was right about Taylor Swift.
What?
Brendan said Taylor Swift's been a curse.
Oh,
that's why the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl.
Fuckers, they didn't believe me. They didn't believe me the fucking leaving the 2x4 in the stadium was a curse. But here we are.
Motherfucker. Taylor Swift is a curse. I can't believe this is happening to us. To this great state. To this great state of Florida. Chucky, we need a miracle, man. Come on. I'm gonna go play Edmonton and beat them by 100 fucking goals on NHL tonight. Watch. And be like, fuck you guys!
Have fun with that. I'll be at work tonight, but tomorrow I'm going to be trying out Waifu Tactical Force.
What the whole fuck is a waifu tactical force?
It's some game.
You're an interesting guy, Slender.
I'll be playing it on stream if you want to watch.
Come on, bro. They scored at the last second. We can do it too. Come on, boys.
Get in there. Get in.
Yeah! Oh, yeah!
We're still alive!
Very nice.
Yes! Yes! Taylor Swift went to the bathroom! No, she's right there! Fuck!
Yes! Yeah, I love it! Overtime again!
That was good shit. Oh, that was actually a really good shot. Holy shit.
That was fucking threatening. Hold on, I got you, dude.
Cut the podcast. We have nothing to talk about. We're watching this shit. That's
No,
what
that's
I do.
it.
I cannot. I need one. Overtime!
Holy shit, I can't believe what just happened, bro. Well, I guess we're extending. Slender, if you have to, Slender, if you have to go, I understand. Have a good night.
Good night, fuckers!
You all take care.
Alright.
And I'll catch you on the next one.
Yes, sir. Alright, this is officially...
I can't take this!
This is officially turned into the Panthers Overtime Podcast.
I can't take... My heart can't take this!
This is the third overtime in this series.
Like I said, they did it to us. We're gonna do it to them. It's called reciprocal tariffs. They do it to us. We do it back to them. Back and forth. Back and forth. It's reciprocal.
I can't fucking believe this. Charles, how the fuck did we end up here? We had a 3-goal lead, and now we're back to...
Okay, perfectly balanced. Perfectly balanced.
Fucking PJ's like, I'm naked. Shut up. Shut up, PJ.
Oh, shit. Who's naked? What the fuck? All right, do we say goodnight to our audience or do we drag them through this pain?
Nah, they're coming with us.
All right.
We are now officially in.
Can you just like focus? You put your stuff like big so I can see the game through your thing.
Yeah. When it's right now we're in intermission, so it doesn't matter.
I want to hear this shit too.
BBC production. Hey, this fucking chat.
Oh fuck. 20 minutes. 20 minutes of holding my breath. Hold up, I'll be right back.
We just need one goal, man.
One goal! They're shook! We can kill them now, they're shook!
We can get it in 2 seconds. We gotta wait an intermission, though. We need to get Marshawn his Blizzard right now.
Oh my god. I'm gonna have to crack another cold one.
Yeah. All right. Put the bet in. Yeah. Hey, yo.
Hard Rock app. Hold up.
Get it on there. We need the good juju.
Hard Rock bet. Install.
I like how you have to uninstall the app in the off season.
Off season, bro. No, none of that. None of, you know, this is how you end up betting on table tennis, arguing with motherfuckers about international darts and how it's not a problem. Some of us are better than that.
Yes, some of us are more responsible than that.
Hell is my password? Maybe this. Yeah, it is.
I don't know if I even have any money in Hard Rock Bet right now. Since I don't bet in the off season normally either. Shit, I gotta update the app. That's how you know I'm not a problem better.
Play by play. Next shot on goal. Next face off. Game specials. Popular. Can I bet on the game winning goal? No? Bro, what? I can't bet on who scores the goal? What the Hard Rock? What are we doing? Next shot on goal. Florida Panthers are the favorite. Next face-off winning. First face-off. That's some shit fucking...
Okay.
Hard Rock, what are we doing? Let's bet on who fucking scores.
The next shot on goal after face-off, or next face-off winning team.
Yeah, like who gives a shit about this? No, give me all in on who scores the goal. Load them up.
Oh, I think it has to update when the game goes on.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you want to do this before the fucking period starts? You're calculating the odds?
I'm just gonna put 10 on the Panthers winning, letting it ride.
Hit 10 wins you 17 books.
Yep. We were up 3-0 in this game, bro.
It's okay. We were alive, and that's all that matters. Oh my god. Oh, I'm sick to my stomach right now.
Panther hockey. You were either whooping ass or we're in heart fucking stopping close games. And I definitely don't want to give Edmonton back their home ice, bro.
Oh shit! Was my friend on TV?
Maybe.
He's been to all the finals games. It's fucking crazy.
Lucky bastard. All of Canada is sweating.
Oh my god, so the Panthers group chat is having a poll on who does the game winner. Marchand is leading the poll.
Yeah, I think it's Marchand too.
It's for the most entertaining outcome. Like it would be the most fuck you.
Letting Boston watch their deity.
Marchand, the owner of Canada. PJ screaming "fuck Boston." It's Chucky's night. I understand it's Chucky's night, but. Oh, but see, what is this, FanDuel? Oh my god, FanDuel's so much fucking cooler.
Where is it? I'm gonna find that shit. Where was it? We talk a lot in this chat.
With flexible payment options, get it fixed now and pay later. Only SafeLife.com. SafeLife Repair. SafeLife Nice.
Where is it, bro?
You can go the distance for what you love. And with travel perks like guaranteed 4 p.m. checkout.
Watch it being Monday. When was that? Yeah, it was Monday. It was definitely Monday. So it'll be right around here.
Overtime started, Monkey. I need this at max size, at max volume. I need to see what's going on. Monkey?
Yeah, hold on.
This is an urgent request.
My bad.
I am not missing this fucking game.
Alright.
Alright. You can make that any louder too. I need to hear the damage.
Isn't this being played on YouTube?
Yeah, but you're ahead. Like, I can watch it first. Alright.
Carried out to the ice. Kulak and looks for Rated down to the puck. Curry works it on back. And now it's Nurse for Edmonton.
I have in mind, but I'll mute it, I guess.
It's an icing. Boy, that seemed to go right under Mikkola. And he never tried to play that puck. It almost was within. I mean, right here.
I wish I had TNT.
Right?
Wow. The bench got a little excited there, and Corey Perry went right to the officials and asking them why that was why it was an icing.
Because it wasn't. Do it again.
Puck comes out of the zone off the faceoff. Look at the odds for DraftKings Sportsbook. Draisaitl and Marchand have the overtime goals in this series. Brown ties up Rodriguez. Puck flipped out by Ekblad, and now sent back along by Nurse. Now Nugent Hopkins. Pass McDavid. Now McDavid control. Out to the point. Bouchard. Shot was blocked. There's Kachuk. Now Bouchard for the Oilers. Past Brown. Another Edmonton icing.
You have it up on your screen too?
Yeah. With 5 career overtime goals for Hagee and Perry as well in the postseason. Tied for the most among active players is Forsling. Fires wide. Held in by Ekblad. Now for Hagee. Reinhardt with it behind the net. Reinhardt back up the board. Cut by Ekblad was blocked by Nugent Hopkins. Kept alive by Barkov. Then back around. From McDavid to Bouchard.
Fucking stream this shit on Discord. I can't see it.
What do you mean? Oh, like
It's like glare, bro. I can't see shit.
I don't think Discord will help that.
Alright.
What we could do is, I mean, let me see how.
Can you share your screen? Actually, now that I think about it. Turn on present. Turn on present.
Forsling 29 today. Off the face-off. Frederick looking for the puck. It's in the crease.
Uh-oh! Oh!
Oh my lord, no! Oh!
Right.
Oh! Oh!
No goal. No goal. Brick wall, Bobby.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Can't be doing this. Oh my god! What a fucking save.
Yeah, bro.
Oh my god, it hit the post!
How about the left skate here, Forsling? Off the post and right here, right there, he makes the skate save and a beauty, Forsling.
It was that close.
For the Oilers, Frederick and Skinner.
You gotta get in the back of the net, bro.
Oh my god, the skate literally stopped it.
You gotta get into the back of his net, bro. We gotta get the fuck out of this zone.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there we go, there we go. Alright. At least they cleared.
Deep by Frederick, off the glass to the left of Bobrovsky. Goes Karina with it for Florida.
These guys need to pick up their speed, bro.
In overtime, period 4.
I know it's overtime, but they got there we go! There we go, Marchand! Oh no! I would have rather him at it.
Weir held up by Kulak. Puck sent towards the net by Jones, blocked. Capital. Going offside. Weir held up by Kulak. Puck sent along by Gadjevich. Now Bouchard up the boards. Evander Kane battling with A.J. Greer.
Ooh, that was in the crease.
Jones and Kane come together. And the Panthers are offside.
Damn.
So the reminder, your defensive zone
This shit's so much behind yours. He's still at 4-17 or 17-17.
So the challenge of making good changes.
Yeah, it's not playing on YouTube, by the way.
Is B,
no,
you're not changing when the other team is coming back the other way, where you give up an odd man situation. So change before you're tired is at all possible. Corey Perry.
Crazy.
Knocked down by Forsling. Now Ekholm sweeps it ahead.
Fucking crazy.
Pass attack for Pop Colson. Now to Chuck.
Good shit right there. Yeah.
Now to Chuck, taken away by Pop Colson. Sent along by Forsling. Walden back on it. Deep back to the puck. Third overtime game of this series. Here's Draisaitl.